Hello everyone. Today I brought one more AI which I want to demonstrate, which is called for healthcare compliance and governance platform. This project simulates how the healthcare organization can identify the suspicious patient's record access. So here in this case, the example which I have taken is in the healthcare, protecting the patient data is very important, as you all know, right? So every day, doctors, nurses, and healthcare staff access the sensitive record, while the most access to the legitimate organizations needs to detect. So unauthorized access outside the working hours, why they have access outside the working hours. Access by the unassigned person. I mean, if the patient is not assigned to any of the doctor and any of the doctors has been seen the patient record, then how we can able to identify those kind of unusual behaviors of the pattern. So to identify this, I came up with a small idea which I want to share with you all along with the demonstration, which is AI automatically generates the suspicious how to find in AI. So to address these challenges, the compliance monitoring solution, which I have prepared with a small example with three tables which I have taken in the Snowflake, and there are three tables that consist in the Snowflake. One is the access log table, and other one is a future, and third one is a compliance results. So with this, all these three tables, how the AI and LLM works to generate with these three tables, and what are these three tables actually. Okay, if you want to see, let's start up with the architectural plan, what I have designed for this compliance and governance healthcare. Okay, let's go to our architectural design. I hope all of you are able to see the screen. So see the screen. As I said earlier, there is a healthcare access logs which I created in the Snowflake, and then future engineering pipeline generate the features store, uh, okay, and isolated anomaly detections which I have given, and then the governance rules and engine for the risk scoring and flagging. So I used the Gemini AI explain for explainer of the reasoning in the reasoning for the uh, risk, whatever the score it has been done, and what is the suspicious activity that has happened. I use the Gemini AI. Okay, and the compliance results which I have stored again in the Snowflake, and then I use the Streamlit to show all these results in one shot. The risk analysis and audit investigations and AI explanations, everything will be shown in the Streamlit UI. So now let's see the demonstrations of the code. Let's go to Snowflake. if we go to the Snowflake, which I created the three tables: access log, feature store, and compliance results. If you see the access log, as of now, there is no records in the access log table. See, query producer, no results. Similarly, if we go here, feature store, and it says query producer, no results. And similarly, if I go and run the final compliance results, the query producer, no results. So, so for this, let's go and run step by step. For this, the example data which I have prepared myself. So, so for that also I have written one of the program to build the data. Okay, like generated data. So data is already generated and I stored in one of the CSV file here. So I'm not generating the data now, and just what I'm doing now is I'm just loading the data. See, ingestion, load data. This load data, what will happen is it's something like the compliance access log table, which stores the raw audit events exactly as received from the log file. So we'll come to know who accessed the patient data and which patient was accessed and when was the access performed and was the user assigned to the patient, what action was performed. So if you see the ingestion load was successful. 50 rows has been loaded. Next, next if we go here again and see in our Snowflake for the access log table, we'll see a data which are 50 rows. See, the 50 rows has been loaded with the user ID, patient name, patient ID, and event time, and assigned, whether it is assigned or not flag, and action, view, and deleted the record. And there are different actions has been. There is updation happen and view. Okay, different actions has been happened. Now we'll go back to run. Now ingestion is over. Now we need to run the future features, because the raw data whatever that we are using is not sufficient for our analysis purpose. So we are building the feature to store the data. So what is the time, what is the hours that it has been accessed, whether it is within the access, I mean within the working hours or with outside of the working hours. Okay, and whether the patient is being assigned or not, or whether it is a weekend who has access a patient record. Okay, all these details we need to calculate. So for that we need to calculate what is the hours and what is the weekend flag and all those things. So for that purpose we use the feature store. So now if you see that the feature store is loading the data for 50 rows which are loaded from the access log table. So loaded the 50 records again for the feature store, and feature store built successfully. Now if we go again into the Snowflake and see the feature store table, we are seeing the actions, user ID, patient ID, and hours and the day on which day to identify whether it is a weekend or not. Our weekend flag is there, whether it is in zeros or one, the month and which month, and after hours flag if it is as one or zeros, and assigned flag true or false whether it is has been assigned or not. So these many columns has been stored in the feature store. Now if we go back here and now if we run, so this feature store can also be supports supports like a model training. So we can run this model training. So nothing has happened. It's a kind of a validation that is going to happen for this model. So no the extra data is loaded, no extra transformations has been happened. Okay, it's just for the validation purpose. Oh no, after this, just will run the pipeline so that it will load the data into compliances using the AI and the explanations for that. Now we'll run pipeline, pipeline, source pipeline. So this pipeline will run and loads the data into the compliance risk, the final table, where it will connect to the Gemini AI and gather the explanation for that compliance, whatever the records that is having the compliance risk, all those records, it will gather the informations uh, using the AI, and it will give the response back, and it will load into that table, so that in the next when we are using the Streamlit UI, we can able to show the response what the Gemini AI has been provided. So in this way, we can able to easily identify the or support the healthcare compliances and governance. It's not only for the healthcare. I'm just taking an example for the healthcare here, and we can able to see, see the compliances and risk for the other also. So now I'm going to run the Streamlit here, and which is in the dashboard. Why? Streamlit is running now, and it's connecting to the Gemini AI. So it's started, and Streamlit is processing here, and see it is running. It's running, it's running. Now see the AI health compliance dashboard has been displayed, and now slowly we'll get the results. So so there are total 50 access events has been happened, which we are initially loaded the data 50, and there is only one high risk event has been found, and anomalies detected was 5, and the compliance score is 90%. So if you see here, the risk distribution has been taken care. The 2% is a high, and 30% is low, 68% is low, and 30% is medium. This is how. And if you see, this is how the compliance explanation which has been taken from the Gemini AI, and which the response has been written for this is compliance summary, Doctor 3 involving the patient 3. 2. A high risk score even signifies a severe violation, potentially impact the patient's safety, data security, or regulatory adherence. Recommended actions: immediately suspend the Doctor 3, access privileges, initiate a full urgent investigation, secure all the relevant documents, and report as required. So this is how the response has been provided. And if you see the AI generated compliances explanation is this is the same which I have shown you earlier. And this is a complete audit report for all the 50 records. So which are all the low, which are all the medium, and which are all the high. And if you even if a high, if there is anything else, we can see. And if want, you cannot able to see. If you want, you can download the results over here for the audit purpose. See here, the explanation is also came up over here. See, the same explanation is came. Okay, this is how the healthcare compliances with a simple example which I can demonstrate it, but we can make it as a more and more realistic and reliable using the engines and using the AI, and we can do the lot of things which can be automate usually with an AI. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.